But for now, it's time to bring up our final keynote presenter before we take a quick break. So please welcome Mr. Fuchi Siong, Regional Enterprise Solution, BytePlus Malaysia, talking to us from pilot platform Scaling AI across the enterprise.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, Kuala Lumpur. Good afternoon, ASEAN. I'm the last thing that's standing between you and your lunch. Hopefully you give me some of your final attention, okay? So my name is CS. I'm representing BytePlus. So BytePlus is the enterprise technology arm of ByteDance. Now I'm pretty sure everyone knows ByteDance is the company that powers one of the most popular social media apps in the whole wide world. And BytePlus as the slightly younger siblings of the ByteDance group, we are the one that helps commercialize whatever technology that ByteDance has utilized, and we think that, hey, it could benefit the wider group of the market, and we are there to help them commercialize that. Now again, I think this slide needs no introduction itself. ByteDance at a glance, we have global offices worldwide. Internally, we don't call one offices as HQ. We don't call that. We call everywhere is an office for us, right? And we support a lot of different languages, 150 countries in service, and the monthly active users that we serve on our infrastructure itself, it's better tested. It's billions of numbers each and every day. And of course, the products and services, the famous TikTok, the CapCut, and then of course, right now we have Blog on the productivity side, and our AI native apps, which is CC is for the international version, ChatGPT equivalent, but probably you guys won't remember us because you are ranked 5 and below on App Store. That's normal, okay? But for Toubao in China, in fact, we are the #1 LLMs in China right now. So whenever you land in China, whenever you need to do something in China, in the vicinity of the China region, you have access to Toubao, and then with the integration that we can do, it's amazing on the results. Of course, Dreamina is more on the image generation and video generation, which I'll share a little bit as well later to see how we can spark some creativity here in ASEAN. Trey is our AI coder assistant. It's doing quite well also in some regions of the world. And Kozi is our NAN equivalent for China as well. Now, with BytePlus, our position BytePlus has two things. Number one is, of course, we provide the infrastructure that is on the same, that is better tested by the TikTok apps itself, the whole ecosystem itself. So, and here, these are some of the cloud capabilities that we have. Of course, we started off with some of the media agents. We started off with companion agents. These are more on the AI side of things, security as well. The toolkits for you to build your AI agents, and the models, which is something that we are pushing, as a focus this year. And recently, we also just launched some of the top ranked models in the wide world. So we're just beaten some of the leaders in the market. And of course, we help to deploy whatever models and training kit that you need to serve your AI agents. And now, why BytePlus? Of course, like I mentioned, we help businesses to unleash their potential. It's a better tested platform. It's proven that supports TikTok. We have one of the foremost talents in AI. And of course, very good feedback loops, high server capabilities, massive data capabilities. Now, BytePlus in Malaysia itself, actually, we are not new, but we have been quite low profile in the past 2 to 3 years. In fact, we are one of the biggest principal that invested the biggest amount in Malaysia in terms of data center investment, where we have just invested, I think, $2.1 billion US. This is data from Forbes in 2024, where we invested these amount of numbers. And we have our Johor DC, MY AZ1 and AZ2 that we already launched 2 years ago, that is already serving customers in Malaysia. In fact, some of you might not know that some of the most famous apps that in your phone is currently powered by our apps, by our infrastructure. Some of the state governments, some of the private companies are already our existing customers. And recently, in this month, we also just launched our AZ3 in MY itself. That shows our commitment for this region itself. And of course, our data centers in Malaysia comes with all these full GPU and full AI suite, which means that you can run your AI workloads here already. It's already fully supporting all these AI use cases. Now, of course, the topic given to me was the enterprise AI scaling problem. So, of course, I got to touch a little bit on how BytePlus scale in terms of our AI use cases. Now, typically, when it comes to AI scaling, I'm pretty sure each and every one of you are, some of you might come from enterprises, and there must be vendors that come to you and ask you, hey, why not we do a free POC? Why not we do pilots? I believe some of you guys here are already tired of listening to such pitch. Why not we try first? But then after that, whether it goes to production, we never know. But actually, this is a common dilemma that is faced by the whole wide world. So statistics from CIO.com and IDC says that 88% of all these AI pilots fail to reach production. Now, there's a few reasons. This is a quote from the report itself. It says, unclear objectives, insufficient data readiness, lack of expertise, and many AI proofs of, thinking many AI proofs of concept. And lastly, they also took a dig at the people, okay? Green lighting and misguided pressure from the top. So it's, a few reasons and factors that's contributing to this issue itself. Now, why? Of course, to summarize, it's basically three things, okay? Data, it's fragmented, poor quality. We wanted to jump on the bandwagon of AI, but then when we finished the pilot, we look back, hey, certain things are still in Excel. Some are still in, even in Buku Nota 555. I think Malaysians will know what is a Buku Nota 555, right? So it's written, it's not even digitalized. Then we are talking about AI. So data is definitely one thing. And then the people itself, resistance. Wow, what is this? Need to pay one. I don't want to try. So this is a common, feedback also from our customers, right? And of course, skills gap, whether we do we have the, the right skills to, on board on all these technology itself. And of course, platform and infra. It's always not really straightforward in terms of buying the right infra, whether the data is in Malaysia, whether we have the right GPUs. Later, some of the cloud, they say, hey, they are in Malaysia, but the GPU is in Singapore. I don't want to say which brand. Okay. Now, how we can help from BytePlus itself. Now, of course, we map back to the three things that we can help. Of course, in terms of data, we have the data warehouse, we have the data pipelines, which is, again, proven on the ByteDance ecosystem. The second is, of course, in terms of the ops, in terms of the people, how we have tools to help you do your work easier. We have High Agent. High Agent is basically Cozy, the Cozy one, the Cozy NAN, but it's an enterprise version. And then, of course, we have Model Art, which is our model as a service that, one of the bestseller also in our suite of AI that allows you to do your work much more easier. Of course, platform and infra, where we have local AZs, all these data residency issues has been solved. Now, the use case that we pick, of course, BytePlus being BytePlus or ByteDance being ByteDance, we got to talk about media, okay? We are one of the largest, content hosting platform on the whole wide world, and it's a perfect AI scaling showcase, right? Because it's compute heavy, it's cross-functional. You don't talk to IT only. You got to talk to marketing. You got to talk to business. When do I need to deploy this content? When do I need to list certain products, right? And it's also governance sensitive, right? I think pretty much everyone will be familiar, right? Sometimes certain things that got posted on certain social media, we need to take it down. We got to review. We got to use the help of AI to really understand, maybe certain sensitive things has been, said in that platform itself. Now, of course, what we can offer definitely, I think it's a very simple thing. It's basically a data warehouse itself, right? Okay, I would say this is always the first step in terms of talking, before you jumping onto the AI bandwagon, look back and check back on your data itself, whether the data is ready. If it's not, then starting to think about going to build your own data pipeline, going to build your own data warehouse is one of the right first step for you to explore whether you have all the things ready, the foundation itself ready. Because once you have this foundation, it makes your subsequent AI projects much more easier and faster also. Then we will have lesser pilots that got killed off, right? I think data warehousing, I think it's pretty simple. You have the data source, you have the integration, and then, and of course, as you can see, a lot of the logos here are open source, which means, our cloud solutions work perfectly with all this open source technology. And it also supports all those most common, languages like SQL dialect and subsequent data lake. And then on the final portion is the data visualization, where of course, again, we support all sorts of visualization. You can use Tableau if you want, or you can use our own proprietary DataWin Power BI, right? Now, of course, the batch, real-time data analytics, deep integration, the mixed workload itself, those are, again, better tested, proven in the TikTok ecosystem itself. The success story here, ByteHouse. Now, when I talk about this is somewhat like the extension of what our customers had done on top of the ByteHouse itself. Now, ByteHouse is the data warehouse. Once you got the data, what we can do with it. Of course, again, ByteDance being ByteDance, we got to talk about our machine learning algorithm and recommendation. If you guys ever saw the ByteDance original pitch deck online, there's one word. We say search engine helps you have access to all the data, but ByteDance brings the information that you like to in front of you. That's the motto that we have, right? And of course, that's one of the biggest use cases that we have across a lot of our customers. Now, this customer is a sports and esports community for from some of the region in the world. 100 million young people, a very big amount of users, cover sports, esports, entertainment, other sections. Of course, with such platform, there's always one problem statement: how we can deliver contents better, how we can retain customers better, right? So of course, we will start off with the data collection itself, put in the raw data, process it for data warehousing for value data, subsequently plug it into a CDP. CDP stands for Customer Data Platform, so you have a 360 view of your customer, right? And then finally, with that data that's sorted within the CDP, you push it to the touch, which is the interaction, the final interaction with the customer. Maybe just to dive deeper a little bit. A very straightforward example is, so we have NBA and soccer on that platform. So me, as a user, CS, that log into the platform, that platform wanted to know, hey, does CS likes NBA or soccer more? How can the platform do that? Then it will recognize my action on that platform itself. Okay, when I was prompted with NBA and soccer, maybe I spend 30 seconds more on soccer. Then that data point can be stored into the data warehouse itself, train the regression, the machine learning models. Subsequently, you try to bait CS again. So the next time CS log in, say, maybe we bait CS again. Does he still like NBA or soccer or how? And from that, we build more profile on top. That's just plain straight recommendation engine logic itself. And subsequently, with that, we can predict the user behavior. We can propose, what kind of package that you can, suggest to the customers. For example, certain people like both NBA and soccer. We craft one package for them and for everyone, and then it's the normal package itself. Now, the next part is the Model Arc services, our generative AI solution that's on top of BytePlus Cloud. Now, we talk about the basics, the foundation of data warehousing, the data, where does the data comes from. We talk about the AI of the past, which is machine learning, okay? The advanced mathematics that helps you do some of the calculation, the recommendations. And the next question is, of course, generative AI. Now that you have all this very beautiful data, what you can do with it, right? Now, of course, with Model Arc itself, we have a whole suite of all these solutions. Of course, we start with speech. We have the, again, best-in-class, proven text-to-speech, automatic speech recognition from our ecosystem. Language itself, we have ByteDance Seed 1.6 that's just launched last month ago. Vision, which is something that we'll talk a lot later on. Our CDance, C-Edit, and C-Dream, which is currently the top-ranked video and image generation models in the whole wide world. And of course, we also support open source deployments if you ever need any fine-tunings to your custom use case. DeepSeek and also Moonshot Kimi can help you to achieve that. And to talk about CDance, now CDance is our latest text to video or image to video generation model. From this rank leaderboard itself, it's from artificial analysis. It's an open source, models leaderboards shows that our model just, beaten our closest competitors, right, on videos and image to video itself. It's currently the world #1, and we are 10 times cheaper than the next closest competitor. Now, some of the demos that we can do. Now, Pro itself is designed for cinematic production. Okay, so you can see this is how we can demo, like seamlessly switch between multiple cameras. So the first scene is a very wide one. Then we can close up to until the hands of the pianist. The next one is a story containing multiple coherent cameras. So it looks at, and then we switch the camera again. So the Pro is suitable for such use case for cinematic production. We also have multi-camera consistency. So this is an action scene, right? So it requires a lot of consistency, changing fast pace, right? So we see how this boxing scene goes. And if you look at the face of the character, it's still consistent, regardless of different angles that we switch on. And of course, you can always, be creative, generate a robot, or whatever features that you want to have on this character itself. And of course, text-based, you can also prompt a text on what text you wanted to show towards the end of the video itself. And again, physical motion and facial expressions is something, I think one of the game-changing feature that makes us the #1 in the leaderboard. Because again, physical motion, this is skiing. Again, super fast. Look at the sunlight behind. So it still maintains that accuracy on the sunlight. And then this is a facial expression. So you can even prompt what you want this person to feel, what you want this character to look like: happy, sad while touching the hair, sad while touching whatever. So there's a lot of capabilities to this. And of course, Cdance itself, the pricing is super cost efficient right now compared to the rest of the world's competitors. It's only $2.5 per million tokens. Next up is the Cdance Lite. Now, Pro is for cinematic. Lite is for commercial use case, I would say. Now, we understand that not every video needs to be like full-blown Hollywood style. Sometimes you just want to make a video for your product, for your e-commerce, and you want it to be cost efficient, or maybe just a single shot. And then this is the video model for you. So these are some of the sample prompts, okay? These are fully generated text to video. Again, the accuracy to the prompt, the movement, the immersiveness to it. And this is a use case on the e-commerce where you can just take a photo, or you can even generate a product of your own, and then you can just describe however you want the movement to be. This is for one of the cosmetics product. This is a Jade, more China kind of product. And then you have e-commerce as well, that you can prompt. Maybe for this shirt, I want a model that helps me model this shirt. What kind of skin tone, what kind of height, what kind of gender. You can prompt all those. And of course, Lite being Lite, it's slightly cheaper than Pro. And again, very competitive pricing there, $1.8 per million tokens. And lastly, you have Seed Edit. So edit, meaning that you can edit something on your image. You don't have to know Photoshop anymore. You don't have to really open up your Canva. You can just upload an image, tell the AI that, hey, I want to remove something from this image. I want to change something from this image itself. These are some of the samples. For example, I'll just pick this lady here that has her tongue out. It's just that is the original image. And then we just prompt, change it to a full body. Wear a red cheongsam, red wedding shoes, match them nicely, and even change the image ratio. And from that, we prompt it to become a full-blown image itself. And on the top corner, I can even change the color of the hair. From a normal straight hair to a full-blown clown, rainbow kind of hair. And of course, remove the chair. So originally, it's just one brown chair. We can change it to a white one. We can make it vanish. We can change it to the other type of chairs. And also changing the scene from day to night. So this is on the Seed Edit itself. And lastly is the Seed Dream. Again, it's a top-ranked text to image, very similar. Just now is to edit. This one is purely from text. You can generate whatever you want again. Again, it's quick demo. It's we can just use this prompt. We can tell them what's the resolution we want. And all these are on the same list price regardless of what kind of resolution that you prompt. So we can support up to 2K, which is also one of its kind in the industry right now. Not much models can support up to 2K. And of course, you can prompt a young Asian woman, silver cut hair, mechanical blue, all these eyes, and futuristic nano armor. And these are some of the examples that we generated. Not too bad. And of course, we also support typography for small text. So we can actually prompt what kind of the text that you want in that image itself. So that would suit marketing needs, right? Or certain events, or even poster. This is a poster for a certain movie. Of course, on the right hand side, I have for hyper-realistic portraits. For the F1 generation, for generation in the New York City Square, and a family portrait. So it's a very immersive experience itself. How about local contents? Right. So this is something that I generated 30 minutes before I come out on stage. So let's try and see. So it's a Malay boy wearing traditional Malay shirt, cycling in the streets of KL, twin towers in the background, neon lights, busy streets with motorcycles and cars and buses. Okay, kids, don't try this at home. I think this is not Basika Lanjak yet, but it's still against the law. So please don't ride in the middle of the streets. But it just shows that how it can follow all these local contents. Of course, can be better. I'm not the best prompters, but with just 30 seconds, 30 minutes before my presentation, it's not too bad. You can recognize the Twin Tower, it has the bus, it has the cars, everything. So yeah, definitely we can support local contents, and it will only get better once we have more usage, right? And we are just getting started. We have our DCs in Malaysia. The next closest one is in Indonesia, Jakarta. The other region is in Hong Kong and also China. And hopefully we can do more together. And of course, we are here just to announce that we are new, okay, but we are just getting started. And this is a call to action to see how we can grow together and inspire more creativity together with the community of ASEAN and Malaysia especially. Because when you look at the data, actually Southeast Asia is a very good consumer of tools. Okay, last time we have social media. We are one of the highest grossing rate of social media users in the whole wide world. Same goes to AI. I think recently we just had a report that says Malaysia is probably ranked number 4 in the whole wide world in terms of ChatGPT usage, right? But when it comes to producing AI products, AI contents, it's not as much, right? And with tools like this, we hope to enable more people, more community, and of course the ASEAN, our founders, startups to do more by leveraging our API. And yeah, this is a call to action for all ISV partners, startups, distributors, community to come together, visit our booth later on, explore what we can do with this BytePlus technology, and we can't wait to see what ASEAN can do together with our technology. And lastly, thank you with my AI video. Thank you.